There is something happening around you that you have not fully registered yet. Not because you are not perceptive, you are extraordinarily perceptive, but because the thing happening is directed at you and the things directed at us are always the hardest to see clearly. We are too close to them, too inside the experience of being ourselves to observe what that experience looks like from the outside. So, let me tell you what it looks like from the outside. It looks like something that is stopping people, not metaphorically, literally, mid sentence, mid thought, mid whatever they were doing before you entered their field of awareness. There is a pause that happens when people encounter you, a moment of recalibration, a brief but unmistakable suspension of whatever was occupying their attention before you arrived. And in that pause, something is being processed that most of them would struggle to articulate if you asked them directly to explain it. You do not look your age, and it is making people genuinely crazy. Let me be specific about what I mean, because I am not here to offer you a vague compliment dressed up as a reading. The thing people are responding to is not simply that you appear younger than your years in the conventional sense of looking good for your age or taking care of yourself or whatever comfortable explanation is available that keeps the response in the category of a simple observation rather than something more significant. It is more than that. What they are actually responding to, what is producing the pause and the second look and the slightly bewildered quality of attention that people keep directing at you, is a collision between what they see and what they were expecting to see. They had a picture based on what they know about you, about your history, about what you have been through and how long you have been through it, and what that kind of living is supposed to do to a person over time. They had assembled an expectation of what encountering you would look like, what the accumulated weight of your experience would have produced in the visible evidence of your face and your energy and the way you carry yourself through a room. And then they saw you, and the picture did not match the expectation, not even close. I want to talk about why, because you deserve to understand the real reason for what is happening rather than just receiving the pleasant surface of it. You have protected something, not consciously necessarily, not as a deliberate strategy or a disciplined practice you have been maintaining with awareness of its effect, but in the way that certain things are protected by people who have a particular relationship with their own interior world, who have never fully surrendered the part of themselves that experiences life with genuine freshness, who have been through things, real things, hard things, the kind of things that leave marks on most people in ways that are eventually visible, and have somehow remarkably come through them without losing the essential quality of aliveness that makes a person look the way you look. Most people lose it gradually, without noticing it leaving, the weight of accumulated experience pressing down on something that was once light and open and genuinely responsive to the world, the disappointments adding layers, the losses closing doors, the years of having to be practical and careful and responsible, gradually replacing something that was once effortless and bright with something more managed and more careful and more tired. You did not let that happen, or you let it happen partially and then found your way back, or you fought for the thing every time it tried to leave in a way that most people stop fighting after a certain number of losses. Whatever the specific mechanism of it, the result is the same. The light is still there, visibly, unmistakably, in a way that confounds people who expected to see something dimmer. Someone is going particularly crazy about this. And I want to be clear that I am not using that phrase loosely. I mean it in the specific sense of someone who is experiencing a response to you that exceeds what they feel equipped to manage gracefully. Who is being affected by the encounter with you in ways that are showing up in their behavior and their energy and the specific quality of attention they keep directing at you when they think you are not looking? They are always looking. That is the first thing. The second thing is that what they are looking at keeps doing something to them that they did not budget for and cannot seem to resolve, no matter how many times they encounter it. Every time they see you, it is like the first time, not in the way of surface novelty that wears off quickly, in the way of something that genuinely does not become ordinary with repeated exposure, that keeps producing in them a fresh response, an unmanaged response, the kind that appears before the social composure has had a chance to intervene and smooth it into something more appropriate for casual interaction. They see you, and something happens in them that they cannot stop happening. And the thing that is driving it, the specific thing that keeps producing this specific response every single time, is exactly what I have been describing. You look like someone who has not been diminished by their life. In a world where most people are visibly carrying the cost of their years, you look like someone who metabolized that cost into something else entirely. Something that shows up not as damage or depletion, but as a kind of density, a richness. The specific, hard to name quality of a person who has lived fully and been affected deeply and somehow remained essentially themselves through all of it. That is what is making this person crazy. That is what is making several people crazy. Let me describe the specific ways this is showing up in the people around you, because I feel it in detail and I think the detail matters. There is the looking, not the polite, social, I am engaging with you as a person looking that happens in ordinary interaction. The other kind, the kind that has duration beyond what the social situation technically warrants. The kind that returns to you repeatedly within a single encounter as though something keeps drawing the eye back regardless of what else is happening in the environment. The kind that, when you occasionally catch it, is accompanied by the specific expression of someone who was not quite ready to be caught and is now recalibrating their composure quickly. You have caught it. You have probably filed it under something more innocent than what it actually is. File it correctly. Then there is the behavior in your presence. People become slightly more themselves around you, or slightly less themselves, depending on whether being around someone who is visibly, energetically alive makes them feel more expansive or makes them feel the contrast between your aliveness and wherever they currently are with their own. Both responses are real, both are happening, and both are a response to the same thing, the thing you are carrying, the thing that does not age. M, I want to go somewhere deeper here because the surface of this reading, the you look young and people notice part, is real, but it is not the most important thing I am feeling. The most important thing I am feeling is what the youth actually represents. It is evidence of a choice you have been making continuously, probably without framing it as a choice, for your entire life. The choice to remain open, not naive, open. Those are different things, and the difference is significant. Naive is the openness of someone who has not yet encountered enough to know that openness carries risk. Open, the way you are open, is the openness of someone who knows exactly what the risk is, has paid that risk in full on more than one occasion, and has decided that the cost of closing is higher than the cost of remaining available to the world. That decision takes something every time you make it. Every time something happens that would justify a closing, that would make a hardening of the heart the reasonable and self protective response, and you choose instead to remain soft in the places that matter, to remain curious, to remain genuinely, unperformatively present to your own experience of being alive, rather than retreating to the managed distance that protects people from feeling things too fully. That choice, made repeatedly across the years of your life, is what is visible on your face. People cannot always name what they are seeing, but they are seeing that here is something I want you to actually receive rather than immediately deflect. What you carry is rare. Not rare in the polite compliment sense of everyone is special and unique, rare in the actual look around you, count how many people you encounter who have this quality sense, who have this particular combination of having lived genuinely and remained genuinely open and continued to bring that openness into every room they enter without making a performance of it and without requiring anyone else to acknowledge it in order to sustain it. Rare, the kind of rare that makes people stop, the kind of rare that produces second looks and extended attention and conversations in your absence that you do not know are happening, but that are because people talk about you after encounters with you in the specific way that people talk about an experience that was different from their ordinary experience, that left something behind, that they find themselves wanting to describe to someone else and discovering that the description is inadequate because the thing they are trying to describe is not really about anything that happened. It is about the quality of being in your presence. That quality travels, it outlasts the encounter. It is what makes the not looking your age something so much more significant than a physical observation. Tell me something in the comments. Tell me if you have been feeling this energy around you lately. Tell me if there is someone specific who has been responding to you in the way I described. Tell me if this reading found the right place, because I think it did. I think you already sensed that something was happening in the way people were looking at you and responding to you, and you were not entirely sure what to make of it. Now you know what to make of it. What I want to leave you with is simple. Stop managing this down. Stop receiving the evidence of what you carry with the specific Virgo reflex of finding all the reasons it might not be as significant as it appears. Stop immediately locating the alternative explanation that requires less of you to believe. Stop treating the extraordinary quality of your own presence as something that needs to be verified by sufficient external evidence before you allow yourself to accept it as real. It is real. It has always been real. The people going crazy about it have better access to the truth of it than your own critical self assessment does. For once, believe the people. Believe what their eyes are telling them when they look at you and something happens that they did not plan for. Believe the pause. Believe the second look. Believe the conversations happening about you in rooms you are not in. They are all saying the same thing. Something about you is extraordinary. Something about you does not age. Something about you makes people stop and look and feel something they were not expecting to feel, and then look again just to make sure they are seeing what they think they are seeing. They are seeing it. You are it. And the world is very slowly, very clearly making sure you know. Until next time, Virgo, you do not look your age. And everyone around you is absolutely losing their mind about it. Let them. You have earned every second of it.